Does your public school system really prepare students for college or career? 86% of community college students believe they are prepared for college, yet only 32% don't take a remedial course. 90% of parents believe their children are at or above grade level in reading, yet 34% of students are proficient in reading. Diplomas and credits based on seat time and sometimes barely passing grades are giving students and families false signals about their mastery of concepts.
Traditional model, you are all moved together, usually or grouped together by age and then moved at the same pace. What typically happens is you'll go to class, let's say we're in a middle school pre-algebra class, the units on exponents. That'll continue for about 2 or 3 weeks and then we get a test. And on that test, maybe I get a 70%, you get an 80%, you get a 95%. Even though that test identified gaps, I didn't know 30% of the material that happened to be on that test. It just kind of does nothing about it and then moves on to the next concept.
The traditional model is also not transparent.
Even that A student, what was that 5% that she didn't know? It might have been a careless error or it might have been something really important. What happens when you raise something to the 0th power?
Grades may include participation in homework. Parents and teachers don't get visibility into a student's areas of weakness and therefore don't know how to help.
And to appreciate how absurd that is on some level, imagine if we did other things in our life that way. Say home building. So we bring the contractor in and we say, okay, we have 3 weeks to build the foundation, do what you can. So they do what they can. 3 weeks later, the inspector comes and he says, okay, that's not up to code, I'll give it an 80%. You say, great, let's build the first floor. Same thing, 2 weeks, do what you can. And while you're building the 3rd floor, the whole structure collapses. If the reactions we typically have is like, oh, maybe we needed a better contractor or more inspection. But the real issue is we were artificially constraining how long we had to do something, ensuring a variable outcome. And so the model that we're saying is, no, do it the other way around. Have a variable time when and how long a student works on something and ensuring that they get to a level of mastery. Instead of the variable outcome of A, B, C, D, F, every student should get to that A level.
With competency-based education, schools clearly outline learning objectives and agreed upon definitions of proficiency, and each student is given flexibility in how, where, and when to master each topic. This goal-based approach motivates students to guide their own learning because they know exactly what is expected of them. And while each student may move through material at a flexible pace, teachers play a critical role ensuring students receive just-in-time support.
When I master a skill, I feel like I accomplished something.
I am very confident in my learning now. I feel that I know what I'm doing and I have all the resources that are going to help me accomplish all my goals.
And it feels like an adventure now.
The graduation rate has grown from the low 70s into the mid 80s.
In practice, competency-based education can look very different. Some schools may leverage technology and online solutions, while others choose to adjust school schedules or classroom design. Policymakers have a critical role in providing schools the flexibility they need to meet students where they are and help them progress with a solid foundation in key concepts and skills. The time has come to rethink and redesign our schools around the unique talents and abilities of each student and ensure that they meet their full potential. Competency-based education. Unleash what's possible.